right, I'm at Saratoga Belmont Day, looking spectacular per usual, shoes, bang. But this is about Caitlin Clark being left off the Olympic team. How dumb are these women? How dumb? I don't know who's making the decision, Women's Olympic Committee, whatever it is. I don't care if you don't think Caitlin Clark, talent-wise, belongs on this team, even though she does put up 37 to 13, like the most points in the history of the league for a rookie. None of it matters. These women, and I love women. I'm a pro-woman guy, women guy. They complain and they cry about equal rights, equal wages, blah, 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 blah. Hey, dummies. For the first time, like in the history of basketball, you have arguably a player who is the most popular player in the world. Like, you could argue right now, Caitlin Clark is the most talked about, discussed, most popular, most puts asses in the seats, single basketball player in the world. You could argue that. Yeah, you could say maybe LeBron, Luka, whatever you want, but you can argue it. And you leave her off the Olympics team, it's not only a showcase for her, it's for the sport and the other WNBA players who are on this team. How dumb, how brain dead, how idiotic do the people running this thing have to be? It was one thing after another with her.
So, Sean, that's our topic today, right?
Yeah, you betcha.
We're talking about Caitlin Clark and the big news that's around her. For those who don't know about Caitlin Clark, please put up her picture. This woman is the top in sports, the top talk in social media, the top talk in pop. You know, I mean, we talk about Caitlin Clark even when we're not trying to talk about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, and frankly, I've become interested in the WNBA for the first time in my life because of all this controversy surrounding this woman.
This one woman, and that's why it's so good. Now, the latest news is that she was snubbed from the Olympics team.
Yeah, that's what Dave
Portnoy, right? French.
Yeah, whatever. It's French. At any rate, that's what he was speaking about. She got snubbed for the Olympic team for the women there, and there's some controversy.
Yeah, this is a deeper topic than just the Olympic team. But let's see her. Let's just go off straight to her response for the Olympic team. If you could play that video.
Yeah.
Caitlin, what was your reaction when you saw the USA team yesterday, the roster come out?
Yeah, I think I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics, so it'll be fun to watch them.
What was your level of disappointment not hearing your name on the roster?
Honestly, no disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
She's responding the way that you should expect a professional to respond.
That's sportsmanship. That's a class act.
Yeah.
Because there is every reason why she should be on that team.
I mean, she's the face of women's basketball right now.
Yeah.
She is the #1 selling women's jersey in anywhere. Her college at Iowa State, her college jersey was the #1 selling. And now that she's in the WA, it's the #1 selling on the Fever, Indiana Fever.
Well, and if you just look at her stats, if I could spit that out for just a little bit there. She's an NCAA Division scoring record. She broke the NCAA Division I scoring record, amassing an impressive 3,528 points during her college career. She achieved this feat in just 126 games, surpassing the previous record held by Kelsey Plum.
And who is playing in the WNBA right now and is playing against Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. And then NCAA tournament points record. During the national championship game against South Carolina, Clark scored 18 points in the first quarter, bringing her total NCAA tournament points to 480. This broke the record previously held by legendary Tennessee forward
Pistol Pete Merritt.
Yeah. No, I think it's Shaniqua.
Oh, well, that's
Claw.
Yeah, Shaniqua's Holds Claw.
And triple threat. Clark is the first player, regardless of gender, to achieve 3,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 850 rebounds in college career. Her impact extends beyond scoring, making her a true triple threat. Big Ten and IO records in her historic 2023-24 season. Caitlin Clark shattered Big Ten and IO records, including most career points, 3-pointers, and assists in NCAA.
I mean,
history.
we could technically go on and on about all the things that she has done and will do, and records she's broke. But today we're really talking about, how the media and how players and how other people are seeing her. And what, not only that, like the problem that I guess she causes because she's there, but she's not a problem herself, But so let's play this next clip. This next clip is talking about, people who really have no reason to talk about The View, and they're talking about They're talking about her and how she's affecting women's basketball. Right. So.
Look, I've been a basketball fan since I can remember. I played basketball with my dad in Harlem when I was 5 years old. So I remember loving the game, and the game not necessarily loving women back, right? At all. And the WNBA started in 1996. First games played in 1997. It's 2024, and we're just really now talking about it. And so if Caitlin Clark is the vehicle that will bring this sport that I have loved so much and so long to little 5-year-old girls playing in Harlem, I say yes, bravo. I have no problem with that. With that being said, I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so part of it is about race, because if you think about the Brittany Griners of the world, why did she have to go to play in Russia?
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay, not because she was black, but because they didn't believe in the WNBA.
This is part of my point. So now, Caitlin Clark is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive. And unfortunately, there still is that stigma against the LGBTQ plus community. 70% of the WNBA is black. A third of the players are in the LGBTQ plus community. And we have to do something about that stigma. In this country, I think that people have a problem with basketball playing women that are lesbians. Who cares? They are great athletes. Well,
I can't stand this woman.
Who can?
I mean, I can't stand the whole View, but quite frankly, but I mean, she's making a problem that really shouldn't have to be there, but it might be. I mean, I'm not saying that she's wrong in so many things, other than the Brittany Griner thing. Brittany Griner's tall. She's taller than us, so is she privileged?
Well, she plays basketball. I mean, if you're 5'3", you're probably not going to be able to play basketball all that well.
I mean, but tall privilege.
Right.
I ain't heard of that.
And
white privilege, okay, I guess I've heard of.
Yeah.
You're privileged more than I am. Just,
well, and I got pretty privilege too.
Oh.
Which you don't have.
Well, I have jewelry privilege then, I guess, right? Because that makes it better. It's more money.
Yeah. Okay, you say so. But at any rate, I mean, I'm a very attractive man, but I'm not rich because of it, and I sure can't play in the NBA or even the WNBA for that matter.
I'm sure you could play in the WNBA. They probably just wouldn't. You wouldn't get up and down the floor good enough. Probably. You probably could play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she's not the only one that has talked about this.
But no,
right?
Let me say though, I just stated all the stats that goes behind her. She can talk. Sunny Hostin, or however you say her name, can say whatever she wants, but all the stats behind this woman say it isn't about her race. It's not about her being straight. She's got incredible stats.
Right, but why are we arguing about her so much then? Why is two men right here having a podcast about a WNBA player that you don't even watch WNBA, and I haven't watched it for years since it started? We don't even care about WNBA.
I tell you, I'll start watching it now to watch her. And Sonny there would say it's just because she's white and pretty.
No, it has nothing to do with
It has
that.
nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to do
and
with that.
In fact that they're all so down on her makes me want to watch it even more.
Exactly, and that's the thing that kind of annoys me about it is that the WNBA wants people to look at them, but yet they don't. They want them to look at them before Caitlin Clark came around. It's like, well, you weren't really that exciting before Caitlin Clark. There were other players. There's definitely good players in the WNBA. If you could put up the next picture. So this is Diana Taurasi. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
She looks like a UFC fighter,
she
man.
looks like she could kill you.
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi is one of the best women basketball players I would call her of all time. Okay. Now the reason I say that is because I watch a lot of basketball. I've coached it on elementary, middle school, and high school league levels. I've coached men, boys, and girls.
Yeah, you coached my daughter.
Yeah, I play them. Okay, like I play basketball. I watch basketball. Basketball's in my blood.
Yeah.
Taurasi was kind of knighted by one of the arguably one of the best players that's ever played the game. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Okay, Kobe Bryant's dead, but during the time period when Kobe Bryant was at his peak, he was at her peak in the WNBA, and he actually called her. His nickname was the Black Mamba. Okay,
Right.
he actually called her the White Mamba because she had a killer instinct. She could play. She would take you to the court, and no one stopped her. So this woman is now probably about 40 years old now, right? She's the one that voted against Caitlin Clark to be on the Olympics.
Oh, she did.
She's one of the
okay.
ones because the veterans voted against her to be on the Olympics.
Is it just because she's a rookie, or do you think is another reason?
So here's the stupid reason they gave. When they asked why you don't want her on the team, they said, well, her fans would get would get sad or mad because they wouldn't see her play much because she's a rookie. So we don't want to make those fans sad or mad.
That's the dumbest, lamest excuse I've ever heard. That is such BS, and it is clearly so.
Right. And Diana Taurasi has been somewhat of a critic of Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA for a while. But you gotta have to listen to her because of the clout that Kobe Bryant laid on her.
Right.
And how good she is. If you can go to this next picture, this is another veteran. We're talking about Olympics here, right? It's coming up in mid-July.
Okay, yeah.
This was the last Olympics. Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, two veterans in the game. They won the gold last year on the women's FIBA team, okay? So they know what they're talking about. They played ball. They're both great players. But if you want to kind of go back to what The View was bringing up, and it's not just The View that brought this up, it's other people who are talking about it.
Yeah.
They're both lesbians.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, the cackling views of those people.
So, I mean, is this a sense of lesbian versus straight? Is this a sense of white versus black? Is this a sense of rookie versus veteran? Or what actually is this?
See, that's what I don't know. Look, I might be going out on a limb here, and no, I certainly am. But maybe they want the WNBA to be very popular, but they want a black woman, especially a black lesbian woman, to do it, and they resent the fact that you got a straight white.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of a mix of all this stuff because those two right there are the top names in the WNBA.
Yeah, but Clark's getting all the attention.
Caitlin Clark is
in the popular media. People don't even care about sports, and certainly not the NBA, WNBA, which I didn't either. Now I'm interested in it. So I guess the question is it because she's white and supposedly pretty and straight?
She's straight and she's a lesbian, or
that's
she's
the question.
straight, or white. It's not that because I don't care. I just want to watch good
I don't
basketball.
care either. If I could see women making 3-pointers like her, it would make the game more interesting to me, I gotta say.
So then let's go to this next picture. This next picture, that is Sabrina Ayuso. Okay? She was the #1 pick in 2020. Right? Just like Caitlin Clark is the #1 pick in 2023. Sabrina just this last NBA All-Star game had a competition with the best three-point shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. Okay, Stephen Curry has won championships. He's the best three-point shooter of all time over Reggie Miller, Steve Kerr, whatever. You don't even know these names.
No, I don't.
My point is that she is the woman version of Stephen Curry. Okay, she's crushing records. She holds the NCAA for most triple doubles in a season, and she was the #1 pick. And just like Caitlin Clark, she's the #1 pick. She's white, she's straight, and she also has a $24 million Nike shoe deal.
Yeah, and I think,
and so does Caitlin.
And on top of it all, and I think her name is pronounced Ionescu. That at any rate, on top of it all, apart from being just white and straight, she's a Christian Orthodox.
Yeah. And so what are we talking about here? I mean, are we talking about the hate that Caitlin Clark is getting because she's white or straight? Or are we talking about the hate she's getting because she's a rookie? Because Sabrina really didn't get that hate. I mean, she came in the league and everybody loves her. So what's the difference between Sabrina and Caitlin Clark? To me, it's like there has to be something.
I don't know, and maybe that's where the other side has an argument because, well, no, they don't. Look, she did not get the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting, though. So
no,
why?
No, and
but they're both white, straight
She
girls.
broke college records too. And she was the #1 pick too. And she's getting $20 million Nike deals as well.
Yeah, but there was no complaints about her that I can register at the time. So what's the deal?
Right. That's what I don't understand. And that's why this whole Caitlin Clark thing is so baffling to me, because she's practically the same thing as Caitlin Clark was just 3 years ago.
I didn't know all this, Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, and it really doesn't make any sense. So we could put the race thing out there. We can put the straight thing out there, but then why did you want to do that with Sabrina beforehand? Because Sabrina's a big name now,
Yeah.
So one of the WNBA players that has kind of like crossed the barrier into NBA analyst is a woman named Shanae Ogwake. And whenever I'm watching ESPN or these NBA TV shows, she's actually one of the big ones, okay?
Right.
And she's from the WNBA. She played in the WNBA.
And she's a commentator now.
And she's a commentator. She's actually one of the best women commentators in basketball right now. A lot of people respect what she says, okay? So let's see what she says.
All right.
Let's see what she says.
Let's do that.
So this is my State of the Union WNBA edition. Let's start with the play. For those who may be new to this, the WNBA has always been a physical league, full of competitive fire and trash talk. And on the full sequence of that play, Caitlin was talking. And in this league, no one backs down to trash talk. Now, I have played with Kennedy Carter, and her choice to retaliate on a non-basketball play was literally foul and something that she has struggled with her entire career. That was not okay. But one player's approach is not indicative of an entire league. All rookies, especially #1 picks, I know what it's like, have been tested mentally, physically, emotionally, from Candace Parker to Sabrina Ionescu to Kelsey Plum to Skylar Diggins-Smith. And a few days ago, Alyssa Thomas was just ejected for a hard play on Angel Reese. Plays like this happen in sports, but now it's being used to further agendas that don't serve the game. So when it comes to women's athletes, there's this expectation that players in the heat of the game should constantly stop what they're doing and be appreciative of Caitlin. They should bow down instead of being the competitors that they are. These women are elite basketball players who are competitors, who show up and show out every night before the eyes were there on the game. We all know and we appreciate the unparalleled amount of growth and attention that Caitlin, I'm her biggest fan, is driving to help become the beacon of so much interest and engagement and viewership to this game. But that narrative, that actually does a disservice to her, because the ones who grind through that type of grind become beasts. This is not hate. This is hoops, like any other sport that is professional at the highest level. And I hope people truly get to understand that.
So that's the big thing for me. Is this hate or is this hoops?
Okay, but the thing is, Carter had a problem with Sabrina.
You're right.
You know?
And this is why I think there's hate in it.
Yeah.
So tell us about the person that just made that hard pick on her.
Well, look, Carter was chosen 4th overall in 2020 WNBA draft.
And Sabrina was first, right?
Yeah. And a quote from Carter said, "I came in here with a chip on my shoulder."
Okay, so already admitted it.
Even with being picked 4th, I feel like that chip has been there my entire life. When Carter joined Atlanta, Coach Nikki Collins said Carter was misunderstood. She said, "I think she wants to win and she wants to be the best, but I also think she felt a little bit overshadowed by the #1 draft player, University of Oregon and New York Liberty Star, which was Sabrina in the draft, and it's very hard in that scenario." So she had a problem again with this straight white. I guess you would say she's an attractive,
religious, attractive woman,
and she's allegedly says that she's a Christian. So I mean, that's not. But it goes beyond that. Carter's been kind of like a problem child in the WNBA, and in 2021. The Dream suspended Carter indefinitely for conduct detrimental to the team. It was reported that before the suspension, Carter indicated she wanted to fight another Dream player who had asked her to approve her attitude during the game.
So, hey, can you calm it down a little bit? No, I'm going to fight you over asking me calm it down.
Yeah.
I mean, we're teammates.
Yeah.
This woman already has a problem.
And she did not play for the Dream after the suspension. The team traded her to the Los Angeles Sparks for the 2022 season. Then, the Los Angeles Times reported that Carter had been benched for poor conduct during the season. After Derek Fisher was fired as the team's head coach during the 2022 season, the interim coach, Fred Williams, did not play Carter for 4 games due to a coach's decision, and she didn't play at all in the 2023 season.
Yeah, and the thing about Carter is that Carter was the kind of the spark to bring up a race thing, to bring up the lesbian versus straight thing. Because when she made that pick that we saw, everybody was talking about it. Everybody was saying people are getting hard on Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
They're not liking Caitlin Clark. They don't want her in the league. And then you have people who we just saw the video where she's like, I'm her biggest fan, but she needs to recognize she's a rookie coming into a league full of grown-ass women.
And that brings us to the present where she just totally hammered Caitlin. It's clearly deliberate.
So, like I've said, I've explained my credentials. People that know me know I play ball. I have a tattoo of a basketball on my shoulder. Ball is in my blood. So is this hate or is this ball? Like Shanae was saying, and I actually think it's hate. The way that they're going against her in this is more than just basketball competition. I've played on inner city courts at 12 at night in downtown Baltimore. Okay? And I haven't had to hate like that, and they didn't even know me.
And let's switch things up a little bit. I don't think there'd be a question about it. Say you had a black superstar player in the NHL, and he gets just creamed after the play is over for no reason, and the other players, even his own teammates, are cheering for it.
I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that.
If this happened to a black NHL player, because of course they're very much a minority there'd be no question that it's hate and that it's racial. And in fact, there'd be demonstrations about it. I bet you there may even be riots about it.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of excuses being made.
Yep, I'm glad you brought that up because when that pick happened on Caitlin Clark, even Caitlin Clark's own teammate on her bench,
right,
jumped up and was excited about it. You're not even supporting your own teammate here.
Your own teammate gets creamed for no reason. It was just such an obvious, flagrant foul. And Caitlin's own teammate stands up and cheers about it.
Yeah, which shows me that's hate. Because if it was true basketball competition, then why would your own team be against you?
Yeah, it's not just regular, you're just giving the rookie a hard time, which I know happens in sports.
Yeah,
it absolutely
happens
does.
all the time.
But it's a little bit beyond that, I think.
It's definitely beyond that. Yeah. So we've kind of reached the point where people are trying to either go with religion, they're trying to go with straight versus LGBTQ, or they're just straight going to women themselves. A lot of people have even mentioned, and you kind of feel like if you're watching this video, you're thinking, how are two guys talking about how women act? But we all know how women act at times. I mean, we're not
experts.
We're not experts, but we're married. We're married, and we know how women act at times. And other women will even say that women are petty at times, and they do these things. Yeah. They want to make you they want to put you down because they are not getting the respect that they feel they deserve before you came around, right? And Charles Barkley, one of the biggest names in the NBA, he talks about it too, right? Let's see what he says.
And he does it hilariously too.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes.
Y'all being petty like dudes. I love it because that's exactly what is going on. Before Caitlin Clark came into the league, they had jets to take you from game to game, but they didn't have private charter jets.
Yeah, they're flying on.
And the private charter jets give you the luxury. They give you the food. They give you the dinners. They go straight from your place straight home that night. There's no complaints. I'm going back in my own home.
And almost all the games that Caitlin Clark is playing in are televised.
Yeah. I mean, there's a game coming up soon, and I'm gonna watch it. Why am I gonna watch it? Because of Caitlin Clark.
I'm gonna watch my first full WNBA game just because she's playing.
Yeah, and the thing is, if this is what you want, WNBA, if this is what you want, then why are you hating on the one subject that is giving it to you? And it can't just be white and straight rookie. It can't, because Sabrina was white, straight rookie, right? And we still didn't get that fame, and they didn't get that. She didn't get that much hate. So it's something else.
Yeah,
something else.
Ultimately, I got to say that researching it and us talking here about it and all that, I really don't get it.
I don't understand it either. And like Shanae was talking about, I know ball. I played ball. I've dealt with ball. Ball's in my blood. I played it 3 to 4 times a week if I could. Okay? This is not ball. This is hate shown on the court, and you want to act like it's regular competition basketball.
I hear you.
So we here at Sons of Thunder applaud Caitlin Clark for speaking the right ways in these interviews.
She's being totally humble in sports. She's not,
and she's taking it the best way you can, because eventually it's going to come out and people are just hating.
I never even heard her complain about that hit she took.
No, she didn't. She's like, she's like, what are we going to do? And then later on, it goes to a higher foul, a flagrant foul.
Right.
Yeah. So we support Caitlin Clark. We hope that it goes further. 2 people who usually don't even watch the WNBA, and thousands of other people that are selling out arenas and watching more than the NBA championship that's going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Her last game, 20,000 people watched it, and only 19,000 people watched the NBA championship.
That's an astonishing stat.
So that she's doing things that the WNBA wants, and we support her, and we're gonna watch the games. Well, we hope you do too, and keep on watching Caitlin Clark. And you tell us in the comments, and subscribe and like, and let us know how you think of this situation with Caitlin Clark in the WNBA.